Hello, it's Claire from Barker Crafts. Thank you for joining me today. Today I thought I'd show you how I've made this really pretty three-dimensional floral card. And as you can see, it's raised up. I don't know if you can just see that. It's raised up on foam pads, so it has got a bit of dimension to it. This card was inspired by Anne Melvin of Positively Papercraft, and she did something similar to this 6 or 7 years ago on her YouTube channel, but she just did the design sort of down one side, and when I was having a go at it I got a bit carried away and just did the whole thing. So this is my version of it. What I've used for this is the Dainty Delight stamp set, which I've used loads recently. I absolutely love this. It's just so versatile, you can do so much with it. And the go-to greetings, which again, I've used these loads as well. These are two that I think you just really do get your money's worth out of them. They're just excellent. I love them both. So let me show you how I've done this. It is quite simple to do, even though it looks complicated. Just going to bring in first of all a stamping platform because I find it easier to hold it with the magnets. So what you need, these are your layers. So I've got a card blank, which is just 6 by 6. So I've cut that from a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. I've cut it in half and then I've scored it in half just to make a 6 by 6 square card. And then you need a white layer, which is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, which will just fit like that. And then the next piece of black card is 4 by 4. And the white one is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, which just fits over again like that. And then the smallest one, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and then 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So that's how you build up the layers. In order to make the design, you just need the white parts for now. Now, I'm using a bit of contraband to do this actually, because I'm using some stick and spray, but you could use Stampin' Seal and just put a little bit on the back. And then when you pull it off, it should just come off. And even if it does make a mark, it'll be covered over anyway, so that's fine. And another thing I would recommend before you start is just mark the top of the back of each card, and I just put a little T on just so that I know that that's the top. I'll do it on that one as well, and it just makes it easier when you come to put it back together again. Okay, so I'm just going to spray a little bit of this stick and spray on the back of here, but I'm going to do it off camera because, as I say, it's not actually a Stampin' Up product. So and all you need to do is just give it a couple of sprays and then just let it dry off a little bit, and it just becomes tacky on the back. And then what you want to do is get it as central as you can. So I want it in the middle. And I want about 1 inch, so I think it's about 1 inch on each side. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. So that's all right for that one. And then the smaller one, again. Just get that. That looks about right there. Move those over to the sides a bit to start with. And then because I'm going to actually colour it, I'm using, I'm going to colour it with alcohol markers. So I'm going to use alcohol-proof ink. And I'm using this stamp, which is this one, in the middle. So all I'm going to do is ink up my stamp, lots of light tapping just to make sure that you've got an even coverage on it. And then it's up to you how you do the design, but basically what I've done is I've stamped in each corner with just a little bit onto the smallest sheet. So you're just really getting the small buds on the edge. And when you stamp it, you will see that you'll miss a little bit there, but that's okay because your black border is actually going to fill that in. So don't worry too much about if you do get bits missed off it. And then I'm going to come in from this side and do the same thing. And just move that magnet. And then one in the middle, like that. And then you can just fill in any gaps that you've got just by using the edge of your stamp. I'm just going to move around like that. Just hold that on the edge while we move to the other side. Coming in again in that corner. And in again down the middle. Tiny little bit on the top there. Okay, just move that up a little bit. Corner again. On the edge coming down there. Oops, I think I've wobbled that a bit too much. It might be a bit smudgy. Oh no, it's not, it's okay. Just down at the bottom. If you do get any that's a bit blurred or a bit smudged, don't worry about it too much, because I've found that once you've coloured it in, you can't even notice it. So, you know, I think we can sometimes be a bit overcritical of ourselves. I would just say, if there's something you're not quite happy with, just carry on with it and see what it's like when it's done, because sometimes it doesn't look as bad as you initially think it does. Okay, so then all you need to do really is just give that a couple of seconds or so just to dry off. And then you can just take it out. Just move that out of the way. And then you can just pull it apart. Now, as I say, if you've used Stampin' Seal, you might just need to be a bit careful when you're pulling it off there. But this stuff that I've used is really good, and it just comes off. Look, doesn't leave any mess at all. Doesn't pull any of the paper off or anything. Ooh, that one's stuck well. That's it. But again, still nothing on there. And then all I've done is basically I've just coloured. So I've used Stampin' Blends. I've used Lemon Lime Twist for the leaves, and then on this one I've used Berry Burst. But on this one, I'm going to use Azure Afternoon, and I've gone with the light colours on both of them. And basically, you're just colouring. You're just colouring in. And what I have done is I've prepared one, because I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch me colour all that in. So that's basically what it looks like when it's coloured in. And then all you need to do is glue these bits onto your black pieces of paper. So start with the smallest one. I'm also going to mark the top of the black piece as well, so that I can make sure that I can match the pattern up. That's that one. Top. I don't know if I've cut that quite straight. Looks slightly wonky. Okay, so you just want really some dimensionals, but I don't actually have Stampin' Up dimensionals, so I'm using these, which are what I had from a while ago. So just remember to make sure that you've got the top to the top on each one, because you want your pattern to match up as best you can. Let's just cut that one down a bit, not make it quite as big maybe. Now what I do with foam pads is I always put a bit of wet glue on, because if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm not very good at sticking straight first time, and this just gives me a little bit more wiggle room. So it gives me a bit of peace of mind. Basically just aiming to match the pattern up as best you can and get it as central as you can on there. Could have gone a bit too far over, I think, maybe on that, I'm not sure. Right, and this one. Okay, remember which is the top. Little bit of glue on. Yeah, that's the right way around. Again, try to match it up the best you can. If I need to be about there. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. And then all of that onto your card. I've done this one 10th fold, so just make sure I've got it the right way around. Go. And then I've just used these classic matte dots. I've just used 3 of the smaller ones. So one somewhere at the top. I don't know if this end will be better actually, will it? Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah, that's a lot easier. That's the take your pick tool. A lot easier for picking those up, definitely. There we go. And then inside on this one, I used the same stamp and I just decorated down the edges. So I've got one of those already pre-done here. So just stick that in. Glue on that side. Stick that inside there. It's a bit too much glue there, I think. And there we go. So that's 2 done. Exactly the same card, but I think they do look different in different colours. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And also consider subscribing to my channel, because then you'll see whenever I post new videos. All the Stampin' Up products that I've used can be purchased through my online shop, and I will put a link in the description for you to do that if you would like to. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.